Assalamu alaikum friends. Starting with the great name of Allah who is the most merciful and beneficial. My name is Sayyida Umama Shah and today the topic that I am going to discuss is the meninges of the brain. So let's discuss. Here you can see the three meninges of the brain. These are the coverings of the brain. The outermost is the dura mater, the middle is the arachnoid and the innermost is the pia mater. The meninges are basically the covering of the brain. Outermost we can see the skin and then periosteum which is the covering of the cranium, and then we have three layers: the dura mater, arachnoid matter and the pia mater. These three layers covers the brain. So friends, now let's discuss some basics about the meninges of the brain. The dura mater has two layers, endosteal layer and meningeal layer. Both of these are in close association with each other except in certain places where they form sinuses, and that sinuses are called as dural sinuses. The space that separate the dura mater from the arachnoid matter is called the subdural space, while the space that separate the arachnoid matter from the pia mater is called as subarachnoid space. This is the arachnoid membrane and this is the arachnoid tubercles. Now, the last but not the least, the pia mater, and this pia mater is bound to the surface of the brain by astrocyte. This astrocyte is very much important. You have to remember that the pia mater bound to the brain surface through astrocytes. So now coming towards the dural force or septa. The dural septa divide or separate the brain into major compartments. There are four dural septa: falx cerebri, tentorium cerebri, and diaphragma celli. Let's discuss each of them in detail and let's see where they are located. So here you can see the tentorium cerebri. It has a fixed and a free margin, and it anteriorly it is attached to the anterior clinoid process and the posterior clinoid process. Posteriorly they form the roof of the posterior cranial fossa. And the second is the falx cerebri. It is attached to the internal occipital crest. Then we have falx cerebri that is attached to the frontal crest and the crista galli. And the last but not the least, the diaphragma sella, which forms the roof for the sella turcica, in which pituitary gland is located. Now, for arterial, nerve and venous supply, you only have to remember some basic trick, and that is you only have to learn voice map and TV F3CS. So, for arterial supply is voice map. V for vertebral arteries, O for occipital, IC for internal carotid artery, M for maxillary, AP for ascending pharyngeal artery. So, simple. Dural nerve supply: trigeminal nerve, vagus nerve, first three cervical nerves, and the branches of the superior sympathetic nervous system, and the branches of the sympathetic. Once again I will repeat: T for trigeminal, V for vagus, F for first three cervical nerve, and the branches of the sympathetic nervous system. Now for dural venous supply, we only have one vein called the middle meningeal vein. This vein lie in the endosteal layer of the dura mater and it drain into pterygoid venous plexus or saphenoparigetal sinus. So we have arachnoid matter. This arachnoid matter attaches at deep inner side of the dura mater while it is separated from the pia mater by a space, and that space is called the subarachnoid space. This subarachnoid space has cerebrospinal fluid, and we have a projection here in the arachnoid matter. This projection is called as the arachnoid villi. This arachnoid villi project into the venous sinuses, and it is a site where cerebrospinal fluid enters into the venous sinuses. The aggregation of these arachnoid villi form granulation, and these granulation are called as arachnoid granulation. And one more and most important thing is that the spinal subarachnoid space extends down as far as the second sacral vertebra. This is most important that you have to remember, that the spinal subarachnoid space extend down as far as the level of the second sacral vertebra. You have to remember the level. Second sacral vertebra. Once again I will repeat: the spinal subarachnoid space extend down at the level of the second sacral vertebra. Now, the last but not the least, we have a pia mater, and the pia mater is vascular in nature. It covers the gyri and even move deep into the sulci, and this pia mater extends over the cranial nerves and fuses with their epineurum. So if you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.